Not too good of sadness, one of happiness. The sad one is the fact that when you send children to school, to acquire education, to go get something, parents will struggle all their life to make sure that their children are okay, send you to school, and the next thing is go get yourself killed. The story of the two Akungba students who died from the pool party sent some kind of, chills down my spine. A one that is not too happy one, because I can just imagine the situation, the position of those parents, especially for a mother who had those children, had them in their tummy for 9 months, even some the past 9 months, because as for me, I hear saying 11 months I stay for my mama belly, so no wonder I'm a bit stubborn. Some people say I'm stubborn. I took take for belly. Okay, that's by the way. And then yes, there are no students. They after matriculation they had a pool party, and 2 of them lost their lives. How now? Please, parents, let's do more. Let's talk to our children. Children too, guys, ladies. A person in the university who entered into the university is no longer a small child. It shows that what you're going to school for is different. It's your mindset entering that school is different. Yes, there's nothing wrong in celebrating the fact that you're newly admitted. But there are some things must be limited. You must try, especially when you think they've been having it quite alright in the past, but this one happened. Although I learned that the hotel owner and the pool manager, they've been arrested for questioning and all that. But 2 people lost their lives. 2 students lost their lives.
The need for everyone to be involved. You just want to feel among. I think that is an issue that needs to be addressed first. Yes, it's your matriculation. It doesn't mean you have to go out and party. You understand?
Yes.
But the need that you don't want to feel like the one left out. You also want to let them know that you self, you're a big girl, you're a big boy. See, don't let people pressure you into doing things you don't want to do. If you don't know how to swim, you don't have to go into the swimming pool. Do you understand?
Yeah.
You don't have to. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you cannot swim. You just go inside and do like this. Allow the water take you.
You want to show yourself.
You understand? You want to show yourself what you don't know how to do. You want to feel among. There is no need. Now, in order to prove them that oh, you are capable of this thing, you ended up losing your life. Then what's the essence of it?
Yeah, Remy, you've said it all. Youthful exuberance, you know. But then, how far should you go when you want to have fun? And then school, I mean, they, just like you said, they asked you to go to school to acquire knowledge, and then when you got to school, and then something else. Is it peer pressure? I mean, this is to an extent, by extension, even if it's not a pool party, it could be something else.
Something else.
It could be something else. So I think parents too should please, when they go to school, check up on them. Check up on them. Yes, you've put in them all that you feel that they need, you know, while you're grooming them when they were still with you. But when they are away from you, and that's the first time, perhaps, that probably was the first time
they're leaving the house all by themselves.
Yes, all by themselves. So please, do not just leave them alone. Keep checking up on them. They'll try to act like they are all grown and now in school.
The freedom!
Exactly, that freedom. Perhaps they were overwhelmed and, you know, they've never had that kind of freedom before.
Yeah.
Please, parents, let's do more. It's not enough that, you know, you've paid a fee and then they're in school. No, don't just settle and don't let your mind be, please. I'm not asking you to panic, but keep an eye on them. Keep an eye. We know how we do it. We know how parents can be. Keep an eye on them. It's so sad.
It's sad. It's a very sad one. It's been troubling my mind since yesterday when I heard that news. Two at once. Okay, on the brighter side, 183 people kidnapped in Kaduna, Karumi have been freed, totally free now, and it's all celebration in Kaduna State that yes, we have them back. We know when that news broke, the issue of kidnapping is like it's becoming part of us now. Like any minute from now, you can hear that a kidnap issue happened. We're not Kwara had a fair share again on Tuesday. Massacre. You know, over some news said over 100, some said 78, and we don't even quite have the figure
yet.
Even if it's one or
even
two.
If it's one or two, we just spoke about 2 students who lost their life, and how painful it is, how painful it can get for the parents and everyone. Not to talk of when you have large numbers. But on the bright side, they are here. Celebration galore in Kaduna, all the paparazzi. But one thing that keeps coming to mind is we get to hear kidnapping. They stay there for a while. We get to hear release. But we don't get to hear that the perpetrators were arrested. I don't know.
You know, I think until that part that you just said is addressed, we'll probably keep hearing of kidnap cases. Because now when the perpetrators are not brought to book, when nothing is being done, they will keep acting. Now, with what you just said, the Kwara State, I don't want to go into details because we're still going to talk more on it. But then you can see that these things keeps going. We hear that, oh, they rescued these people. But what was the process like? What happened? What happened to the perpetrators? Were they caught? Are they being arrested? You understand? What are the series of events that took place prior to their release? So don't just come. Well, I'm happy that they've been released. I don't know if it's even released or rescued. Rescued. Okay, so what happened?
We don't know the...
You know, released and rescue, it's two different words. So when you say they were rescued, that means there have to be some form of combat or something. So what went down?
You know, Remy, I would like to say this. Yes, you already emphasized the fact that, you know, there's a gap there, the kidnap and then the release. But in between, what happened? They were not apprehended, no arrests made. It to keep happening.
Yes.
But one thing I really want to, you know, focus on my POV is the fact that I see it as business. If there's that gap, yes, business, because this is it. The people were kidnapped and then you go get them. I'm sure you're not getting them for free.
Something went down.
Exactly. So when they see that, it's like you're waiting for them. This kidnappers already see the, you know, the trajectory, the pattern, and then it's like, let's go get another set of people in another village or state, and then let's wait for the government. They will come and pay us. So it's like,
but then it's not being said now that they are being paid. No,
They cannot
That's not ransom.
No, that's also
That part is not.
Until we keep making assumptions until this part is settled.
Yes.
Because I am not sure, I am not certain. Well, I don't think that they will just go and get them.
Something
You know how this
going
works
on.
now. If it were to be the fact that we had soldiers going there, you know how the media would be.
Yes.
They would love to throw that out and let us see. I mean, it's a win to them, and so they would
Yes,
want us
they
to
want
see
us
that.
to-
But why hiding this? Until then, we're still going to be asking that question: what is happening? What transpired in between the kidnapping or kidnap and the release?
rescue
Yes, the rest.
process.
Is it that when they got there, they paid ransom and then they freed them?
Or the
Because
ki-
yes,
Or
it's
the
just
kidnapper just said,
we
decided to
release
release
these people.
Which I
For
fight-
us,
yeah, which I fight.
their families are not happy. They are sad right
Yes.
now. Please kindly let them go. And then the
Negotiation.
yes,
Negotiation.
that's yes. And the kidnapper will say, okay, what gonna they go now?
Yes.
We're
Yes.
not free now. And the next, if it's like that, I don't think they'll have the mindset to go and
go
do
and do
another.
another one.
But it seems something lucrative. It's a lucrative business, kind of. Something is playing
Remy, as a
now.
Nigerian, I'm going to say this. I cannot totally clear my mind of the federal government until that there is an answer, response, and they're coming out to say this and this and this.
This is going on.
Yes, I mean that gap until they come out to say that. I have a lot of questions,
And for me,
and I'm sure Nigerians do too.
The propaganda that follows. Imagine after they've been released, sewing ashwabi for them, buying T-shirts, everybody in uniform. All the victims.
It's like it's like beaming the spotlight from the real deal,
the real
and
thing.
then
We're
distraction.
celebrating. What's there to celebrate?
I love the fact that when you mentioned earlier that you mixed feeling and you are glad, you're excited that two persons.
I was not happy. Yes, yeah.
But what about the Kwara State?
That's another. But
it's
part of our. It's part of. That's why she said
Remy,
we'll go deeper into it when we
It's
get
like
to that
we
part.
really don't know what's going to happen next.
No,
What is
that's
going
the-
to happen
that's the
next?
fear.
Boom! You're waking up in the morning. It's another state.
On my way this morning, I saw this truck and a lot of the boys inside, the northerners, and I was coming behind. The first thing that came to mind is I was so scared, like, who are these ones again, Toriolo? Because one, they are not Yorubas, they are typically northerners, young guys inside the truck right in front of me. And the first thing, it is what has been happening that is bringing that fear. Now you are not even sure who the person next to you is.
Please, your mind is
If
not at rest.
if you're taking a bike, you're wondering if the person is from the north, you're scared like, I better go, what's going to happen?
Yes,
We're
ma'am.
now living in fear every day, in fear of what will happen.
Fear of the unknown.
All right, welcome to the program Perspectives. It is on OSRC television. You've met the ladies. I'm Remy Allen. ISO Samonilari is here.
Yeah.
Always
I love the smile.
and of course, Atilayo Akinfolari. The ladies on Perspectives. All right, I will do it. We take a break shortly. When we come back, it will be time to hit it straight. Delve into the program with the newspaper headlines. So when we come back, it will be time for our focus, and of course we still have the trending stories all lined up for your viewing pleasure. Just stick around. Perspective is here. We'll be back. SRC television. All right, as I said before the break, we're going straight to the newspaper review, and I'm starting with the Nation newspaper. The screaming headline is all 183 rescue Kromi Wali worshippers back from captivity. Page 26, as terrorists killed Kwara villagers for refusing strange belief. You can also find that on page 26 of the Nation newspaper. We also have some riders. DHQ reveals cause of dastardly attack. Tinubu Abdrazak meets at Aso Villa. Remi Tinubu's presence at U.S. prayer excites Trump. Okay, that's on page 2. INEC obeys court order on PDP leadership. Rider Wike's group gets nod. That's on page 4. How Nigeria can fast track economic growth by NRS boss. Ramfak no pay package for office holders ready. That's on page 4 of the Nation newspaper. Nigeria, World Bank strengthening partnership to boost economy. Okay, and federal government ends use of tax credit scheme for road construction. You can find details on page 3. All right, Aisha.
All right, moving on to Nigeria Tribune. Electoral Act, electronic transmission of results must stand. And this is coming from the opposition senators. They vow to monitor to presidency. OB, ADC, MBA, Yaga, Africa, they all react. And more of that is on page 19. Nigeria taps into $7.7 trillion global Allah market. That's on page 5. And the writer says, cautions against religious interpretation, says it will unlock $12 billion economic value. Kwara attackers are religious extremists. That's coming from the government. Death toll rises, bodies still being picked from bushes. That's on page 4. The U.S. troop in Nigeria, not combat forces. That's on page 2. And lastly, Wike-backed PDP leaders recognized by INEC attend stakeholders meeting, and that's on page 20. And that's all we have from the Nigeria Tribune.
And from the Punch newspaper, Kaduna abduction, 183 freed victims recount ordeal. Government pledges rehabilitation. Electoral Act, opposition pushes back as e-transmission faces firestorm. You can find that on page 2. And Kwara massacre, UN condemns killings as Turkey pledges support. That's on page 2. With the rider, Tinubu meets northern senators, demand security overhaul. IGP deploys tactical team. PDP crisis, Makinde camp films as INEC recognizes Wike's block. Find that on page 37. Respected woman, Trump hails Remi Tinubu at US prayer breakfast. That's on page 38. And that's all we've got for you from the Punch newspaper.
Moving to the Daily Trust newspaper, we are still burying the dead inside Kwara's massacre. Also, we have, we were beaten, didn't birth for 2 weeks. That's coming from Kaduna abductees. Parties now 21 as INEC registered 2. Defense headquarters admits U.S. troops in Nigeria. How Nigerian startups raised $520 million. Remi Tinubu meets Trump. You can find the details on page 29. Minority Caucus, Senate approved e-transmission of election results. You can find details on page 5. Incidentally, that's our focus for today. All right.
Moving on to Daily Independent. The flight safety at risk as Nigerians jet fuel black market booms. Trump sponged Remi Tinubu at U.S. prayer breakfast in Washington. Describes her as respected Nigerian pastor. That's on page 7. Tech alone can't fix Nigerians' voting crisis. This is coming from INEC. Registers 2 new political parties. That's on page 7. Electoral Act. The senators reaffirm passage of clause on e-transmission of results. That's on page 6. The Kaduna governor received freed worshippers abducted from churches. That's on page 6. Opposition blasts Senate over rejection of real-time e-transmission of election results. That's on page 7. Kwara, Katsina, Benue killings. Nigeria now a killing field. That's coming from Atiku, and more of that story is on page 29. Kwara killings offend our humanity, faith, and shared values. That's coming from Tinubu. And lastly, the independent newspapers unveil Silver Jubilee Award nominees on Monday. And that's all we have from the Daily Independent.
All right, let's get down to the Vanguard newspaper, and I've got this. How Nigeria can move from potential to economic prosperity. That's coming from Adidiji. Find that on page 19. U.S. President acknowledges Nigeria's First Lady as respected woman. That's on page 8. 1,949 massacre. Court orders UK to pay £420 million to 21 Nigerian families. How online scams, unsolicited ads score Nigeria's digital economy low. A 2027 majority of senators want real-time results transmission. And that's coming from Baribe, Ngige, Umer, and others. Find that on page 7. All right, soldiers came 10 hours after terrorists had killed scores. That's coming from the village head, that's from Kwara State. And 10,000 drivers to benefit from Lagos government's health safety program. Downstream deregulation delivers 6 trillion naira gain in 9 months. That's coming from MDPRA. 2 PDP factions insist on fielding candidates in 2027 polls. Okay, and that's all we've got for you from the Vanguard newspaper. I beg your pardon.
All right, so I'm moving to Nigerian News Direct, and that's our last newspaper review this morning, headline review. Rather, Nigeria saved 6 trillion naira from fuel imports losses. That's coming from NMDPRA. Go to page 6. You'll find the details there. The world is watching. Trump tackles report of prosecution in Nigeria. Details is on page 21. Oshun Iyalojes endorse Oyebanji, berates Adeleke's government. Okay, you can find the details on page 22. Sanwo-Olu unveils phase 1 report for Lagos International Financial Center. Details is on page 14 of Nigerian News Direct. And that's about all the dailies we have for you this morning on Perspectives. Go pick your copy, go to the pages and read the one that interests you. All right, we'll take a break now. When we'll come back, we'll go straight to the focus of today. Please do stay with us. it's still perspectives on OSRC television. While we are waiting to connect with our guests, we're going to be looking at them, examining the issues shaping our democracy and, of course, national development as we turn our attention to the Electoral Act amendments and the growing call for the electronic transmission of results in real time, a reform many believe could transform the credibility of elections in Nigeria. So we're waiting to connect with our guest of Jennifer Dafoe from Yaga Africa, a leading civil society organization working on democratic governance and electoral integrity. She will be sharing her thoughts with us on this, issues regarding the electoral, the e-transmission, the electoral reform that is going on, and the fact that recently during the week the news came out that the Senate has ruled against e-transmission, and yesterday Barry had a press conference along with other senators to say that wasn't what they agreed, that they supported e-transmission. So it was a question of transfer or e-transmission. What's even the difference between the two? The transfer results, it means it will not be done real time, maybe at later time when it's being collated, and it's then taken to the final point where election it's been the collation center. Yes, now collation center. Exactly, and then from the polling units, yes, to collation center. But now Nigerians are saying that we should have gone past that time to move where exactly, yes, it should be done real time. We should be able to have results
an immediate
as in the happen. Maybe they know if they happen for Western worlds, and it's in the happen they know. You understand why it's as difficult? But even the Senate president has come out to say that they did not. The 2022 amendments that was done, the fact that e-transmission should be part of that, they didn't go away from it. They went with it. But someone came out to say what they agreed on, is different from what
they came out.
What did they agree on? What did
more like they agreed on transfer and not transmission.
But in the end, they came out to say
they agreed on transmitting it real time. In as much as Nigerians, we are very quick to say, other countries, the advanced countries, this is what they are doing. We want to do this. Talk about JAM and WAEC and CBT, and they said we've passed writing with paper and pen. Now let's advance with CBT. But now in this case, I'm kind of wondering, why are they reluctant in doing it? Now a lot of Nigerians have the opinion that, okay, are they actually now for us or for themselves? Because it is indirectly also going to affect them. Because it's real-time transmission. There is not going to be time for manipulation, vote buying, rigging.
You can't rule out vote buying. The truth is, it is the results that we're talking about that should be uploaded on iRev real time. But before what are they going to take transmit? It's your vote, which has been.
But do you know why I say it's going to reduce it? Now, a lot of people have developed political apathy because they feel like, if I come out and vote or not, it won't count. But now that they know it is going to count, I don't know if you remember 2023 election, where even citizens at their polling center, they were even counting it. There was a song that when they call the party, they'll say 71, they'll say it again, they'll say 72. You remember the time. Now when you know that your vote will count, I'm telling you that nobody is going to come and tell you, I'll give you so amount of money, you need to go for this party.
All right, let's quickly take a break as we connect with our guests. We'll be back. Please stay with us.
Taking care of your physical body is good for your mental health and crucial for overall well-being and a high quality of life. It empowers you to live a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Focus on a balanced diet, regular physical activities, sufficient sleep, go for regular checks, protect yourself from preventable diseases, avoid smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and risky behaviors. Eat healthy, avoid illegal drugs or using prescription drugs in ways other than prescribed. Keep your environment clean, stay hydrated, and connect with other people, as good relationships are important for your mental well-being. Please go to the hospital or consult your doctor if you are not sure of what your body is telling you. Remember that good health is more valuable than material possessions. It is the most precious asset, as it enables you enjoy life, pursue goals, and experience happiness, which wealth alone cannot guarantee. Health is wealth. This message is brought to you by OSRC Television.
All right, welcome back. It's still Perspectives on OSRC Television. We're looking at the importance of transmitting election results in real time, the e-transmission. And as I said earlier, that we are being joined by a person from Yaga Africa. That's Jennifer Dafwat, who will be telling us their stance, what they think, how all this up and down about e-transmission or transfer, whichever one they come up with, how it's going to affect us generally and affect the future election. 2027 is close by. It's nice having you join the program, Jennifer.
Thank you for having me. Good morning.
Good morning. All right, let me quickly ask, what's Yaga Africa's stance regarding all of this e-transmission, transfer, and all that? What's your take?
I mean, right now we are disheartened to see that this electoral reform that we expected and hope will move our elections and our democracy forward is being stalled, and almost the life being snuffed out by the recent Senate decision. And this comes as a surprise to us because given that the House of Reps had already passed this bill, we were hoping and expecting that the Senate will follow, the same line, and so we can have this electoral reform and start planning towards 2027. So this is a major setback. This is a major setback because now we are having to go into advocacy to mount pressure and speak to the House, the conference committee that has been set up to see the possibility of, reverting this Senate decision. So this is totally disheartening, honestly, and it's not our expectation at all.
All right, you just said it's disheartening. I mean, a lot of Nigerians look forward to this electoral reform that has been on for a while. We were hoping that what will come out at the end of the day will be something that will all be glad. And as you said, what has been playing out in the last few days over this is getting Nigerians talking. Well, let me ask, why do you think it is important to have real-time electronic transmission as it's being considered as a game changer for election credibility? Why is it important?
Now, if you recall in previous elections, and especially the immediate past national election of 2023, and even some of the off-cycle elections that we've witnessed since then, you notice that while there has been some form of improvements in terms of logistics and all of those compared to the times before 2023 and 2019, you'll see that where there is high level of manipulation is during the collation process, because we are still 100% reliant on the manual paper process of collation. And so at the point of collation, we've had instances where numbers are tampered with, things are just changes and manipulation are made at that point, at the point of collation. But you see, collation happens at different levels.
Exactly.
If we're able to have this real-time transmission, electronic transmission of results, what it means is it first of all clarifies what we experience in not post, but during the 2023 election, where there was this conversation of, oh no, it's just upload. Upload meant that they'll use the beavers machine to take a picture of the result sheet, and upload it to the IREV. But this new provision is saying, alongside whatever you have in paper, right there at the the polling unit level, upload, not just upload, but transmit what are the numbers. So if you put up the numbers to a central database that is not accessible to it, that is only accessible to certain level of officers, then the chances of reducing that manipulation is widened, that we will not have as much manipulation as we have had in the past. And then we can now compare and say what's on the paper. If you went maybe at you passed the polling unit, maybe ward level or local government level, and we were beginning to see changes in the result, we can refer back to that polling unit level to say, no, this is not what we see. And what that also means is with the electronic transmission now, there's going to be, the ability to also collate, which is add up the numbers almost immediately. So it's consider it a two-factor authentication of some sort, where yes, we have the paper version, but we also have the electronic version, which is not accessible, because once it goes up, the electoral officer at the polling unit is not likely to have access to be able to change it, at that level. So these are the guardrails and safeguards that we're expecting, the National Assembly to come on board and be forward thinking, in seeing that with this, it has so many ripple effects. Aside being able to raise public trust and people beginning to accept the results, the election results, we also have the opportunity to reduce some of the cases we see in courts in post-election. And even when those happen, they have verifiable data, and the ripple effects honestly are wide and they are varied. It just does, it just portends this opportunity to just move past this level that we currently are in our electoral process.
All right, thank you very much. Now, talking about electronic transmission, we cannot leave technology out of it. Now, technology-wise, do you think we are ready for transmission?
Honestly, I will say that if we don't even make an effort, we will never. There's no such thing to say, oh, we are 100% ready. Let's make the effort. We have 1 year before this election. If this, which is what I said earlier, that this is a drawback. The time we're supposed to use to make progress and move forward to other things, we're returning to this conversation of the amendment of the bill. Because we have a year to say, now that the bill is in place, what infrastructure do we need to put in place to ensure that this transmission is possible from the polling unit? And to be honest, the Yaga Africa in past elections and some of the analysis we've seen, in most of the local government, the 774 local governments that we have around Nigeria, you will at least have a 3G connection for results. And in time past, and even during at the point where PFAS was introduced, one of the things that INEC constantly reiterated is that the PFAS does not need a 5G network. It doesn't need a 4G network. As basic as a 3G network, we're able to facilitate the upload or transmission of these results. I remember the previous INEC chairman in one interaction saying that the way the PFAS is even designed is that once at that polling unit level, the electoral officer is able to make an upload at some, even if there's no network at that point, between where you are, the polling unit, and your local government, in that point of transmission, the PFAS just needs to catch network just for a short amount of time, and that process will be facilitated. So instead of sitting on our hands and decrying the fact that, oh, are we ready? It's almost like we don't even want to be ready. If we're saying that this is a possibility, this is a technological advancement, the question should be, what can we put in place? What do we need to be doing? And I said this earlier that most of, not on this conversation, but most of the internet, the network that we need is not even strong internet connection. And we have telcos in Nigeria, people who know the numbers. They know all we need. And I'm not trying to reduce the amount of work, but this process just involves a multi-stakeholder, partnership and coming together to put hands together. These telcos, they have the facility. It's for the government, federal government, and the different institutions involved to incentivize them to put these network towers at select local government and select locations across Nigeria. At the end of the day, it's beneficial to everybody, because with higher reception at these local government areas, the telcos are inadvertently getting more customers and having better being able to be a part of this process. So my point really is, let's not focus on what is not working. Let's even be determined to take the step. And the baseline to say for this is to say that if we look at the numbers, if we call in the telcos, will they say that there isn't basic 3G network at these 774 local governments? No, they are. So at the point of transmission at the polling unit, within that process of getting to the local government, then you will at least have 3G connection to make this this upload. We're not talking about bandwidth for streaming videos or large media files that take up require heavy internet. No, that's not what we're talking. Basic 3G connection. And so I think that it's possible. It just requires foresight and a determination to see this happen by the political class.
All right. The Senate, let's quickly ask you this before we take a break. The Senate has claimed that the provision for electronic transmission of results is still intact, at least judging from the press conference Aberibe had. But critics argue that the rejection of the amendment is a betrayal of Nigerians. What's your take on this quickly?
It is a betrayal of Nigerians' trust, because we all know we know the history of our electoral process, and we know the implications of having this electronic transmission. So after they have, passed this, made a decision on this bill, and the backlash start coming, then they come out with this press conference and dissenting voices, because as it stands, the Senate is not even speaking one voice. There are members of the Senate who are claiming that, this was not the version of the bill that we passed. But you were sitting there on the floor of the House when this thing was passed. Then there's the version that is saying, oh no, we didn't change this. So I honestly think that the political class are also making an attempt to distract Nigerians and distract, citizens on what the real issues are. And so it is our responsibility to not be distracted, to say until this thing is in black and white, clear and stated, we're not backing down. How do you say that? This the electronic part of the bill was not tampered with, but in the we cannot see a circulation or a document in the bill. And what are you even sending for assent, on this bill? So these are things that until they are in black and white, and they are simple, they don't need to be shrouded in secrecy. They have public processes. There's a reason they are called public servants and public officers, because the things that their endeavors are open and are available for the public to see and to scrutinize this process. So there's nothing difficult in
all right, Jennifer, I guess we'll get back to you after we've taken our news brief. We'll come back to this. We're not letting you go just yet. We'll come back to it. Let's move now to the newsroom as we bring up developing stories. Please do stay with us.
Care of your physical body is good for your mental health and crucial for overall well-being and a high quality of life. It empowers you to live a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Focus on a balanced diet, regular physical activities, sufficient sleep, go for regular checks, protect yourself from preventable diseases, avoid smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and risky behaviors. Eat healthy, avoid illegal drugs or using prescription drugs in ways other than prescribed. Keep your environment clean, stay hydrated, and connect with other people, as good relationships are important for your mental well-being. Please go to the hospital or consult your doctor if you are not sure of what your body is telling you. Remember that good health is more valuable than material possessions. It is the most precious asset, as it enables you enjoy life, pursue goals, and experience happiness, which wealth alone cannot guarantee. Health is wealth. This message is brought to you by OSRC Television.
Developing stories on OSRC Television. I am Obi Chukwemeka Uti. In the mood of Ondo State Golden Jubilee, attention is being drawn to the remarkable journey of the education sector since the creation of the state. Education stakeholders and residents who witnessed the early years recount that teaching and learning was of commendable quality at the time, but access to education was limited for many citizens. To them, this generation is blessed with diverse opportunities to achieve their heart desires. Omora Laugbeji has details.
Long before the creation of Ondo State, the education sector stood out as one of the key areas that witnessed steady growth and transformation. Residents who were privileged to witness the early years of the state recounted that education at the time was a commendable quality with committed teachers and disciplined learning environments. They, however, noted that many communities lacked adequate skills and educational opportunities.
When the state was created, there was hardly any higher institution. But by the special grace of God, we now have universities. College of Nursing, so on and so forth. So by His grace, I think the state is actually moving forward. Education now is not as it used to be in those days. It is now left what you have now. It's an inclusive education where parents, where guardians, where everybody has a role to play as far as education is concerned.
We have what we call an all-inclusive education, not only academics alone, but when you talk of all-inclusive education, we talk of sports, we talk of skills. Skills acquisition when you are in school and all that. That's really impressive that you are having that. That has never been like that in the 60s and 70s and 80s. So it's really commendable that we are having such progress in the educational sector.
Since the creation of the state, successive administrations have pursued policies aimed at expanding access, improving infrastructure, and strengthening manpower development across all levels of education in the state. Chairman, Ondo State Universal Basic Education Board, Victor Olabinton, posited that the interventions have helped to strengthen the education system and encourage higher school enrollment, particularly at the basic education level.
On these schools, and we have over 1,800 primary schools. I'm not talking of private schools. I'm talking in terms of government now. When you add private, you know what that has done to the site of Ondo State. And we must commend the founding fathers of the state. Ondo State will rank as one of the best in Nigeria. And this is due to the quality of our leaders. And every successive leader has tried to keep this pace. And the current governor is not letting anything go. He's keeping it and making sure that things are done and done very well. Because if we educate our citizenry, then we are good for tomorrow.
The Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology, Professor Ibekele Ajibefo, explained that the unrelented efforts of this administration, employment of more qualified teachers, renovation of dilapidated school buildings, and improved monitoring are geared towards ensuring effective teaching and learning across schools. Scholarships, bursary, and other financial support from the Ondo State government is to ensure that more people have access to quality learning across the country.
There are a lot of schools that were established many years ago, 50 years ago. They have become old and dilapidated. But the government has made and is still making efforts to renovate these buildings, to modernize the facilities, to bring in digital facilities, to bring in computers into the computer laboratories, to bring in things that students need for science and technology. So this is making effort in that area. Many schools currently are enjoying modern facilities because government is bringing in modern equipment, modern laboratory equipment, modern digital facilities. Improving through these free shuttle services.
Citizens remain hopeful that continued commitment to education will further position Ondo State as a reference point for academic excellence in the years ahead. Omero Lahundi, who is RC News.
President Bola Tinubu has held an emergency security meeting with the Kwara State Governor Abdurrahman Abdurrazak as national and international outrage mount over the massacre of residents in Kayama local government area of the state. The meeting came as the United Nations and Turkey condemned the killings. Northern senators demanded a sweeping security overhaul, and the Inspector General of Police ordered the deployment of tactical teams to the affected communities. The deadly attack, which claimed at least 75 lives, according to government figures, has triggered renewed calls for mass recruitment of security personnel, expansion of armories and intelligence capacity, and stronger federal intervention. Also, the Northern Senators Forum called on the federal government to urgently recruit more security personnel and strengthen operational capacity to curb the rising wave of violent attacks across several states. In the meantime, the federal government has enrolled no fewer than 250,000 young Nigerians in its Technical and Vocational Education and Training TVET program nationwide. According to a statement by the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, during his induction as a member of the Ekpe Club in Lagos at a ceremony organized in honor of a political leader in Ekpe Division, Shakiru Akani, Alausa said the TVET program was designed to reach 1 million youths across the country as part of efforts to expand skills acquisition. He noted that the enrollment figures reflect the commitment of President Bola Tinubu's administration to strengthening the education sector through practical and employable skills. The minister stressed that skill acquisition remains critical to national development, describing technical and vocational education as the present and future of Nigeria's workforce. In another development, the federal government has reiterated its resolve to end the long-standing interference by state governments in funds allocated to the 774 local government areas from the Federation account. The chairman of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Mohammed Shehu, made the pledge in Abuja during the 2025 Budget Performance Appraisal and 2026 Budget Defense organized by the House of Representatives Commission on Finance. Shehu lamented the persistent encroachment of state governments on local government finances, stressing that the Commission is prepared to take concrete steps to ensure financial autonomy at the grassroots. Recent Supreme Court pronouncements and renewed federal pressure on states have brought back the issue of autonomy to the forefront, with the federal government signaling a tougher stance, including the possibility of an executive action to enforce financial independence for local councils. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has registered the Democratic Leadership Alliance and National Democratic Congress as new political parties. INEC Chairman Professor Josh Amupitan made the announcement at the quarterly consultative meeting with leaders of political parties. He stated the move is in accordance with Section 28 of the Electoral Act 2022, which mandates the Commission to issue a notice of election at least 360 days before the poll. With this addition, there are now 21 registered political parties in Nigeria. The quarterly consultative meeting, convened by INEC with leadership of the political parties, is on the heels of growing public interest and anticipation surrounding the release of the timetable for the 2027 general elections. And that's developing stories. Do stay with us as Perspectives continues. Good morning.
care of your physical body is good for your mental health and crucial for overall well-being and a high quality of life. It empowers you to live a longer, healthier, and more fulfilling life. Focus on a balanced diet, regular physical activities, sufficient sleep, go for regular checks, protect yourself from preventable diseases, avoid smoking, excessive alcohol consumption, and risky behaviors. Eat healthy, avoid illegal drugs or using prescription drugs in ways other than prescribed. Keep your environment clean, stay hydrated, and connect with other people, as good relationships are important for your mental well-being. Please go to the hospital or consult your doctor if you are not sure of what your body is telling you. Remember that good health is more valuable than material possessions. It is the most precious asset, as it enables you enjoy life, pursue goals, and experience happiness, which wealth alone cannot guarantee. Health is wealth. This message is brought to you by OSRC Television. Safety is not just the job of the police. It begins with you, right where you live. Whether it's day or night, always stay alert, always stay aware. Lock your doors properly before stepping out. Keep your phones and valuables closed and secure. Protect your home, protect your family, protect your zone. Get to know your neighbors. Together, we can look out for one another. If you notice anything strange, suspicious, or unusual, don't stay quiet. Speak up, report it immediately. Don't wait on...
All right, welcome back from the newsroom where we had developing stories, and we still on perspectives, and our guest is still very much with us as we're looking at the importance of e-transmission during election. She has spoken a lot. She has talked about quite a lot of things, but we still have more. We have Jennifer Dafwat from Yaga Africa.
All right, Jennifer, I hope you're still there with us.
Yes, I am.
Okay, so the Executive Director of Yaga Africa, Samson Itodo, claims the Senate rejected proposal for real-time transmission of election results because of unpopular and corrupt politicians, because they're scared of accountability, and how Nigerians ensure they have credible election that will be void of rancor or court cases. How do you think Nigerians how do you think as Nigerians we are certain that there will be credible elections that will be void of rancor and court cases? I mean, given what your director said earlier.
Yeah, so I believe that this is why we're having these conversations. Okay. This is why, Nigerians are saying, are pushing back and saying, no, this cannot be the best way forward. And people, different groups are speaking to the Senate, and I have to put it at this point that it's a call for every person. So it's not just a work that you leave to civil society organizations. It's not just what you do with and you leave to people who are considered critical stakeholders, but every citizen is a stakeholder, because the outcome of elections affect everybody that is a Nigerian, every person that lives within that democracy. And so what we can hope, which is my call and my appeal to everyone who will be listening to us, is the list of the members, both for the upper and lower chambers, have been put for the conference committee, and basically the members of this committee are supposed to sit and harmonize and agree on a decision that reflects the National Assembly together. And so these members of these committees are lawmakers representing us in different constituencies and different states. And so it is our appeal that people will begin to make phone calls and reach out to and put up petitions. At Yaga Africa, you can follow us online at YIAGA on all our social media platforms, because we'll be putting out information. We'll be putting out, the contact of some of these lawmakers, and specific information to help with the advocacy. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can just go and share and plug into these resources that are already available. Now, to tie it to your question, which is how will this affect the outcome of the 2027 elections? Will that election be without rancor? Honestly, it is the activities and the actions that we take today that will determine what the outcome of that election is. Sitting here today having this conversation, we cannot tell, but what we can do is to ensure that we put in place the system that will guarantee a free and fair election. And part of this system is this amendment bill that the Senate has rejected. What they rejected is not only the transmission, the electronic transmission of results. They've also rejected the possibility of people having downloadable PVCs. Yes, the electronic transmission is, at the forefront, and it seems to be the forerunner amongst the positions within that bill. But the things like having downloadable PVCs will also help people. How many people do we know, who have registered their, are registered voters, but have not gone to collect their PVCs for one reason or the other? People move, things change. But with the downloadable PVC, the law is guaranteeing that you can get that PVC, you can download a version of it from the INEC portal, and it will be admissible during elections. Another thing is that was rejected. Well, I won't say rejected, but was compressed on, is that they compress the timelines for elections. Currently, what the law.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. We're with you.
Currently, what the law, provides is for the specific timelines. So for INEC, for instance, the timeline for issuing notice of election is supposed to be 360 days before the next election.
Yes.
And the purpose of this is that with that amount of time given for the notice of elections, INEC are able to make certain decisions and make certain logistical arrangements for political party candidate lists to be submitted at least 180 days, but it's been reduced to 90 days. And then there's the INEC publication of it. Now, the purpose of this, sort of longer timelines is planning. So if you're now telling the election management body to reduce and compress its timeline, inadvertently what you're saying is that we don't care if you make mistakes. And in the towing the line of what my executive director already said, is that with more mistakes, then you have more reasons to go to court and say, your party logo was omitted from the ballot. Your name of this was not sent. That was not done. I'm just giving rise to these overbloated political processes where instead of the secrecy and the supremacy of the ballot to be, yes, what we now have is courts deciding. Courts rather and judges determining who our leaders are, and then that really undermines the electoral process. So before we go on to start having a conversation of will there be rancor or not in 2027 election, what we are calling for is to put in place the guardrails to ensure that things are done seamlessly. As people, we always evolve and make changes. And so when we resist change, what does that say about us?
All right, Jennifer, if this is a consolation, one of the senators, I don't really have his name, I said, at the end, that we should be patient. That at the end of the day, when this electoral reform is done and completed, that Nigerians will be happy with what they will come out with. That we are quick to start criticizing that. But in any case, for the layman, you know, this word transmission transfer, there have been a lot of controversy around the use of the words, you know, transmission of results, transfer of election results. From Yaga Africa's perspective, what is the real difference between the two? That's one. And why does Yaga Africa insist on electronic transmission of results over transfer? Does that suggest transfer is not the best for our election?
Thank you for that question. Yes, in post-2023 elections, the argument INEC had is that the provision of the law says they should upload. And what they meant by that is take a picture of the results sheet and using the beavers, and then it goes to the IREC. But what this current provision is asking is to say, no, don't just take the picture. Impute the numbers. Don't send us a picture after you have gone and mutilated or, manipulated the results. It is saying basically, transmit what the numbers actually are so that the system can make correction, so that even the margin of error is reduced in terms of the human mathematics of it. So we're saying employ technology. There's a system that can automatically collate the numbers that you're putting. Let's say this TV station or this station where you guys are is a polling unit, and you upload, or the electoral officer from your polling unit transmits, which is to put, not even add, just input the numbers. Party A got this, party B got that, not just the picture. Now, that's the provision says that the system will collate and tell us what are the total votes in this station's polling unit. And then I know I'm not in the studio, and also my location is another polling unit, and simultaneously, real time, the addition from your polling unit and my polling unit is going on before we even assemble at INEC collation center. So that way, what we are doing when assembly is done at INEC collation center is putting it up and saying, oh, this paper that you have submitted is not going to do away with the paper, but say, okay, now this paper that you have submitted, does it tally? So, because at collation centers, there's the polling unit, there's the ward level, there's the local government level, right? And then
all of those levels.
So, let's say at the state level, you come and you're giving numbers and saying these are the numbers, and we're going back to the system and saying, but no, at the ward level, if this was what we saw at the ward levels, then it's not possible that at the local government level this is the number we're seeing. Do you understand?
All right.
So yes, the entire purpose is just to reduce the margin of error and improve the efficiency.
So thank you so much. We'll have to let you go at this point, Jennifer Dafwat. It's been great having you on the program.
My pleasure.
Thank you so very much. All right, we'll take a short break, very short break. We'll come back after now for the last lap of the program. That's the Trending Stories. Please stay with us. still perspectives. Moving to the last lap of the program, we'll be starting our training stories from training stories from Kwara State, where over 100 people were feared dead on Tuesday night following a deadly attack on Woro and Nuku communities in the Kaima local government area of Kwara State by Islamic militants, while several people were also killed after bandits pounced on Abande community in Bakio Ward, Turan Kwande local government of Benue State. Governor Abdurrahman Abdulaziz, however, confirmed the death of 75 persons. The governor disclosed the figure on Wednesday night while addressing residents at the palace of the Emir of Kaima, explaining that the victims were local Muslims massacred for refusing to surrender to extremist preaching a strange doctrine. He added that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approved the immediate deployment of an army battalion to the area to prosecute counter-offensive codenamed Operation Savannah Shield. This is really, really disheartening. I know when we started this morning, we mentioned it, we talked about it. The massacre in Benue, in Kwara State, that is way too much. I'm trying to remember the word the president used to describe it. He said he used the word beastly heart, like only a beast can do what these people did. And I'm also glad that he has also called that a army battalion be on ground in Kwara so as to avert all of this. But we mentioned it a whole lot.
Yes.
I mean, for how long are we?
Even the numbers are not even certain yet.
Yes.
Some say 75, some others say it's even more than that. Even when we took our newspaper review, we heard that bodies are still being picked from the bushes. Yes.
I'd love to say something. Well, I love the fact that the action that came after this act, but then should we wait for this kind of thing to happen before we take action? Yeah, the federal government, they're really, of course, they're really trying. The president is trying. This is a collective effort. This is not a time to shift blame or so. But there's something they call intelligent gathering and all. Well, that's not my field, but at least on the average, I should be knowledgeable to know that this is not the first time this kind of thing is happening in Kwara State. And Yoruba will always say something. When the goldsmith hits at a particular spot, then something, he wants to bring out something from that.
Yes.
And so it has happened before. That's not just once, not twice.
But the issue of kidnapping.
Exactly. In Kwara State, the church, it started very small, and then look at where it has gotten to.
And now it's massacre.
So I would expect that at that time, the first or the second, something, maybe they should have done something even before. I mean, something huge regarding security. Moving everyone to. It's something is happening in Kwara that they are not telling us.
I love what you said. I think as a country, sometimes we Nigerians, we take things with levity. It started small, from the church incident to other communities being attacked, and now it's a massacre. What have been put in place? So far, do you understand? When the first one happened, what was done? The kidnap. Okay, this is what we keep talking about. When we say they said they were rescued, but nothing was done. When you start setting examples, now, mind you, we didn't take the part of the story that said this whole incident, it lasted for 10 hours. 10 hours! Yes, 10 hours. Now, that goes a long way to show that they already know that nothing is coming.
That's what I said.
When things like this happen, and you see, the security personnel are out there, these people would not have the mind, the audacity to do, 10 good hours. I think they said it started from 8, 9, and lasted till 3 a.m.
In the all of
so you understand?
Are you saying that there is no security agent, no information so far that will get out to tell them something is happening there?
Do you know what? It wasn't even done quietly because they said they were spraying the guns. People had to run into the bushes. Some had to climb trees. A man said they shot at his children and took his wife. Now, so you can tell that this thing was not done like, oh, let's just do it small. It's not
quiet operation.
It's not a quiet. It was loud enough to even challenge the government that I'm doing what I'm doing. You people cannot
You
even
can't do
come.
anything.
Now for 10 hours, not 2, not 3, 10 good hours.
And nobody.
If you're even traveling from the south to the north,
you don't reach where
you get to where you're going.
I said something is happening in Kwara State that they are not telling us. Because
it's not just Kwara, because we have that of Benue,
yes,
also we have the Katsina. We have
okay. Let me say this in Benue, in Katsina, in Remy, it's like this thing happened in Benue. This is not the first time too. In Katsina, that's not the first time.
Yes.
Exactly.
So maybe would they have this?
What are we doing?
Until something is done, it's going to keep reoccurring, and that's just
something drastic has to be done. We are tired of we pay condolence, we sympathize, we empathize, we condemn the act. What are we doing to make it stop? Of course, a lot of consequential voices. The president, IJP, everybody has condemned the act. That is what we keep doing. Please, it has to stop. You mentioned the issue of intelligence gathering. What is going on? Some will even have the audacity to tell you they are coming. And still, no. The bandits or whatever, the terrorists will tell you that they are coming to your community.
Yeah.
And still, they will come.
And nothing will be done. No action will be taken.
You know, the fact that these people came with intentions. Now, the religious extremists, they came with intentions already. Take it or leave it. Because the fact that they came to preach something, and because you refuse to take it. So that means they came with the intentions of, you know what, if they don't, this is what we're going to do.
Let's move on, but it's sad. I hope we can move past all of this in Nigeria. An Islamic cleric, Alfa, has been charged to court in Ondo State following the alleged brutalization of 2 minors in our town in a case authorities described as a clear violation of child protection and criminal laws. The incident, which occurred in a community in Owo, reportedly involved the physical assault of the children by the cleric over allegations of misconduct. The minors allegedly sustained multiple injuries after being beaten with a heated cutlass on their backs and buttocks. A rescue operation was subsequently carried out by the NGO in collaboration with operatives of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, Ondo State Command, leading to the arrest of the suspect. Confirming the development, the NCDC spokesman said the cleric has been formally charged and will be prosecuted for offenses bordering on assault and child abuse in line with relevant provisions of the Child Rights Act and the Ondo State Child Protection Law. Biko, no waiting they happen.
That's a picture on the screen there.
You see how bad a man tortured, beat these children, all in the name of they misbehave.
You know, there are levels to some ways we discipline our children. Now, you didn't just use a cutlass, which is already wrong, but a cutlass. Do you understand? Yes, we understand that children can be very stubborn and they need to be corrected. And you know, a lot of people are going to back this up with spare the rod and spoil the child. But then this is too extreme. There are ways you discipline a child. Do you understand? There are just ways. When I saw the photo, I was like, no, this is so bad. To the extent that even seeing what he has done, he still let them go to school like that. He didn't feel like, okay, I should maybe treat these children. Let me try and see what I can do.
The parents, this brings to mind the parents.
No, the parents were not mentioned.
So
I feel like
maybe in a Quran school, there's the Quran teacher that was taking them, you know, school. They go to Quran class and all that, and then they sustained this injury. They got home. The parents didn't know. It was the teacher in school that discovered. You know, and see the extent, the damage they have done to these children. All in the name of your correcting.
You want to discipline them.
I forbid. This is the kind of extremists we're talking about.
Yes, because I know
I
that
mean,
that religion is not. It's about love. It's not about
love.
us. Yes, and I want to say something. This is not the first time this kind of thing is happening. This is not the first time. The Quranic school thing, and this is not the first time. And I'm sure that is not the intention of that. That's not the goal. That's not the aim. So, and I want to believe that this Quranic the scholar, the teacher now, something must have happened. And I said something while we were talking about this earlier, that this is something passed down to this person. And then what are you teaching them? What exactly are you teaching these children? Somebody passed this kind of thing to you, and you're passing it down to these children. I mean, no, it's a no-no. But I love the fact that yes, and parents too. Please, if you are giving, yes, I know that you want them to learn what the religion is all about and to have knowledge about the religion.
Good knowledge.
But at the same time, I am sure this is not part of it. So please, when you give out your children to these people, please also, yes, please pay attention to it. It's important. It is. This is African community, and we don't say because it's your child and then we look away, because it has a way, the ripple effect on the society at large. Please, let's take caution. Let's do.
Yes, very important. We take caution. We go back to parents. I love when we started earlier. You mentioned the fact that even when children are in school, check on them.
Yeah.
You should know what's going on with your child at time. Check on them, even if you're not there physically. Like this, you put up a call. What could have been their offense for them to sustain? This is really sad. It's too much. Okay, moving on. The Emir of Kano, the Obi of Onitsha, and the Emir of Shonga want urgent and collective action to end violence against women and vulnerable groups in the society, in the country, declaring that cultural norms cannot justify such acts. During their joint appearance on a television station on the particular program, the prominent monarchs said the traditional institution and state owe it a duty to protect this group of persons. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, and the UN Women, almost 1 of 3 Nigerian women has been assaulted. Data from the United Nations Children Education Fund, UNICEF, suggests that there are about 24 million child brides in Nigeria, a crisis the traditional rulers said is being perpetuated under the guise of tradition. I love the fact that these 3 notable leaders, figures in Nigeria are now rising up to say no to child marriage, no to child abuse, no to violence against women, and to think of their positions, looking at the Emir of Kano, Obi of Onitsha, and the Emir of Shonga, custodian of culture. Because usually all of those things we do attribute it to culture. It's cultural. In our culture, when a man beats a woman, kilo share, what does she do? Correcting her. He gave birth to her, so he needs to train. He now needs to train her as an adult. As a parent, not great trainer, maybe. No, that's kind of a thing. But for them to say no, this must stop. It's really a very good one, and it's commendable.
Yeah, I like the fact that it's coming from the MIs, because this is talking about child marriage. It is more common in the north.
In the north,
you understand? So coming from people like that, you can tell that they are telling you that this is not. Let's take tradition away. What is wrong is wrong, because they are always using tradition to back it up. That in their tradition, once even from birth, you'd hear that this person has been given to betrothed. Yes, to this person. So I like the fact that they're coming out to say no, this should not be done. It's barbaric and it needs to go.
It's barbaric. And also to say that today happens to be the zero tolerance for genital mutilation.
Female genital
Female-
mutilation.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
And Remy, it's always, this gender is always at the receiving end. It's not just about child bride or what about adults? What about, Remy mentioned it earlier, women in their husband's house, in marriage, going through different kind of abuse, violence and all. Yeah, okay, and let's also talk about this because today is zero tolerance for female genital mutilation. And I hope that they can also preach against this too, in addition to what they have said. All of you have said that you love the fact that it's coming from the custodian of culture, and so it's no longer about this is our culture, this is our culture. Anything that that you see or that is not even okay to do it to a human. Please don't do it to women. Don't do it to children. Don't. All in the name of culture. Ayetilaju, we've moved past that age. It's barbaric, just like she said.
And it goes back to even the earlier story we took about the child that was being flogged. The way the child was. For the man, it's correcting. It's, like you said, don't spare the rod. You did something bad and I must correct you. And if you ask, it's cultural to train, all of those things are abused in its entirety. It's abuse. You're abusing the child. You're abusing the woman. You abuse the boy child. Even the boy child now are no longer left out in all of this abuse. But
right.
I love the fact
right.
that these figures are talking. And look, imagine the Emir of Sugar also decried the early marriage thing, which you have also spoken extensively about in the past. That's it. Even as a child, they born them. It happens in Igbo land too. He is betrothed, and at the end of the day, when that child, would always say for a movie, when the lady grows up and find the man she loves, she can. That's how you have been betrothed to this person. All of these things.
You know what they say? They say when you want to cage a man, they say you enslave a man with religion and tradition.
Yes,
religion and tradition. So, but I know that we are breaking away from that pattern and it will get better.
Okay, quickly before we move to another story, I would like us maybe one day we should actually talk about this female genital mutilation, because it's just one thing for us to come out here and say, but a lot of people don't even know what female genital mutilation is. They don't even know the effect. So I think if maybe we should do something like that.
It's known as circumcision.
Yes.
So a lot of people, they don't know. They be like, okay, it's just normal. You need to do. So they need to know what are the effects. How does it affect? How does it affect the woman?
Tradition.
Yes.
It's still tradition.
So a lot of people don't know that this thing has like effects.
Yes, if it has.
It does.
And like you said, it's something we need to look at. And today is that day that it's been marked out to commemorate the day, to celebrate the day. Zero tolerance. We don't want it. It has to go. Okay. All right, let's move on. Borno State's 892.4 billion naira 2026 budget includes 150 million for livestock feed under the office of the governor, up from 40 million last year, amid allocations totaling nearly 38 billion for government house. The item covers sheep and goats that typically eat grass, drawing sharp online criticism as users like Maurice Moye questioned the expense and contrasted it with human needs in a poverty-stricken area. No official explanation has come forward, fueling menace and calls for better spending priorities in the insurgency's carried north.
Now the question is, what are they eating?
The way I said it,
yes, Remy, wait. Remy, see, not the way you read it, of course. And then this story on its own, it would, if I react to the story, it would make me, I would just lose my steez as soft girl. I mean, in the first place.
Wait, you say this something.
Remy, goat and sheep. How much again? How much again?
150 million.
How much am I? How much? For how many years now?
For a year.
For a whole year. Million.
Yes,
how much? Per year. Per day.
I did the calculation.
Okay.
Now when you divide 150, I'm like, no, what is this? When I did the calculation, that's like 410,000 per day.
What did you?
Now,
How much?
410,000 per
It
day.
depends on the number of the ship. You don't know how many the number
Of the I'm heading somewhere. Okay. Even a family of 20 will not spend 100,000 a day for feeding. What are you eating?
Food.
What are you eating?
Grass. We are eating.
Do you understand? Is it the grass that we know we can actually get out there? So what are they spending on? Are they eating fried rice?
Sarcasm aside,
No.
we are not fools.
No.
We are not.
No.
Perhaps maybe they need money for something and they need to tag it, and then they had to just put it because I don't want to believe. And then goats. Do you know how many people are starving in that state?
Yes.
Do you know how many? That's the northern part, and I know how we can be. This Almajiri is going up and down begging for food. Do you know the rate of poverty there? This is ridiculous. It is.
Misplaced priorities.
And we come back to complain, and I love the way it's been written. That side, it's always as if nothing is happening, poverty is stricken. We know how it is.
People have the poverty
you can allocate such amount of money to feed livestock. And we know that of late the allocation is increasing. In fact, allocation is increasing in states. It has gone up from what it used to. So maybe that's why, last year it was 40 million to livestock. Now, more than 3.
If it is increasing, the effect should be seen in the standard of living of the citizens, not the animals and the country. You understand?
And so the Senate is moving to still increase the FAC share from the current 58.68% that it is, while state share 26.72 and local government 20.60.
Does this, this livestock, does it, wait, whose is it? Is it for the state or for the government?
For the state. It's for the state. It's for the government house.
The government house?
Yes.
That's not the
under the office of the governor.
My goodness.
Livestock. Feed under the office of the feed under the office of the
do they kill this goat and sheep when they are having salad perhaps?
Maybe it's part of what they give out to citizens.
Regardless, it's too much.
It's too much. Standard of living of animals is increasing, and then that of humans.
Okay, let's move on because of our time. There is a video that is doing the round about our senator Adams Oshomole and the strange lady where massaging was taking place. Okay, we have the video online on our TV now. There was
TLC.
TLC. Good massage of the leg. If you see the leg, sweet legs. Okay, so. But then, controversy, a lot of people have come out to say quite a lot about it. Although, he has also come out, that's Senator Adams Oshomole, to say that is AI.
And the lady came out to say it's not AI.
The lady has also come out to say it's not AI.
She said it's not AI, believe your senators if you want. So she's coming out to say it's not AI.
I am the one in that picture. She's popular. She's a South African. She's they call her the sugar baby.
Like a porn
star kind of person. Really? So Oga said, nah, AI. The babes say no be AI. Choose who you will believe this day.
At a crucial time when we are still talking about how to improve the economy of the country, we're talking about transmission of voters' results, then we have our senator going on private jet giving foot massage.
And shenanigans.
And then the fact that it was even recorded and posted, I feel like what was going on? Nobody said we wouldn't have fun.
Who recorded it?
Of course, who recorded it?
I don't like the fact that they said the woman tagged the woman, a strange woman. The man knows the woman. Maybe.
She's strange to us.
Strange to us.
Our internet has already told us who she is. You know, they will dig it out. So she's not strange after all. She's a South African.
See, they should stop throwing this thing at
sugar baby is what it called.
They should stop throwing this thing at us. They should stop it.
I mean, at this time when we're talking about,
we don't want to see that.
There is an issue. The security situation in Nigeria is way too much for. Like you said, there is time for enjoyment. Nobody say make you not enjoy.
Yes.
You know, I mean, it's human. For God's sake.
Don't throw it at our face.
But
they should stop doing that.
But
in the caliber of person, there are just some things you should not make public. Some things you shouldn't make public.
He said it's AI.
I need somebody
I want to go with my senator that is AI generated. One day AI go carry you.
But the lady didn't like the fact that he's trying to hide that.
Let's move to the last story. Quite an interesting one to end with. US President Donald Trump yesterday acknowledged the presence of Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Remi Tinubu, as he spoke at the National Prayer Breakfast in Washington, D.C., highlighting her faith leadership and role in religious life. The annual event, attended by members of the U.S. Congress, religious leaders, and international guests, featured Trump recognizing Remi Tinubu in the audience as he addressed attendees on matters of faith and global religious freedom. He said, I want to quote him, we are honored to be joined today by the First Lady of Nigeria, who also happens to serve as a Christian pastor at the largest church in Nigeria. A very respected woman. First Lady, please, where are you? Thank you very much. It is a great honor. Thank you very much. Very respected person. That's how he ended, and he looked into the crowd trying to we have it on. Let's hear it.
We're honored to be joined today by the First Lady of Nigeria, who also happens to serve as a Christian pastor at the largest church in Nigeria, a very respected woman. First Lady, please, where are you? Thank you very much. It's a great honor. Thank you very much. Very respected person, too. Thank you.
Video of President Donald Trump acknowledging our First Lady as very respected person. You know that Mrs. Tinubu is an ordained pastor of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, and she went for that prayer. I mean, this is different from having to see video where senator is massaging leg. I mean, someone is being praised out there to see.
This is Trump this time.
Yes.
If the country is not in the good book of Trump, at least the First Lady being in the good book of Trump for the first time, well, it goes a long way. Well, it goes a long way. Yeah.
Atilayo.
Remy?
I'm not going to bring you out, but so many unspoken word behind it goes a long way. Yeah, it
does.
It is. We are so happy that she was recognized in such a manner by a controversial president of the United States of America. All right, this is where we'll be leaving it. This is where we'll be signing out. Aslayo, let me start with you again.
Well, I think our leaders, they need to, of course, please get it right. It's important. We really don't know where we're going. I'm not happy. I am not with the massacre story here and there. And in the middle of that, the massaging, you know, I'm human too. I can't hide my feelings. I can't. I'm sorry. I think our leaders, they need to do more, please. We're not fools. We are humans too. We have blood, water, and vein running through us. Please, let's get it right. And to our viewers there, enjoy your weekend. And when you get up there, please, because, you know, we pick leaders from where we are here. When you get up there, do the right thing.
It starts from before you get up there. Start doing the right thing as a person.
Remy. Yes.
You don't have to get up there for you to do the right thing.
All right, she said it all already. Our leaders should set good examples. And of course, you all out there should stay safe and have a beautiful weekend. It's actually Simon Larry.
All right, thank you so much for being a part of our word again today on Perspectives. It returns next week. You've heard it. Please, our leaders, do right by us. I beg, Bikonu, we beg, Ejo, Toriolo. Until we meet again next week, special thanks to all those who made the program a success. My name is Remy Allen. It's back from our hand here.